Is it clear? Yes. All right. Okay, so let's look at some steps here. We're going to annotate to get our key parts. Okay? So we're going to need to identify the parent function. You guys remember how to identify them? So here. What's this one? Quadratic. Why?
Your hand's covering linear.
Oh. What's that one?
There.
Quadratic. Where? Let's see. No, I didn't. Dang it. Go away. Dang it. When I did it yesterday, I covered it. Okay. If I cover it down here, I don't know. Anyway, so this is quadratic. How do I know?
It's square.
It's a square. Good. And this one's absolute value. How do I know?
With the
Absolute value. Absolute value. Good. And this one is exponential. How do I know? The x. Very good. And then, so how do I know that one's linear? Doesn't have any of those. Okay. The big mistake students make with linear and quadratic is they think the linear is a quadratic. Why do you think they might think that a linear written this way looks like a quadratic? Anybody think of it? Yeah.
Because of the parentheses?
Yes. We are used to seeing parentheses on quadratics only, and they are on the linears in Math 3. Okay, and that's because we're using something called an HK. All right, I'm going to re-highlight those in blue because I'm going to use my green pen or something else. Okay. Okay, so we're going to identify them and their basic shape. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this. Okay, and their basic shape, you guys know that one, right? We know when it's a U shape. When is it a U shape? Quadratic. When is it a V shape?
absolute value.
Absolute value. Good. Okay. Then we're going to identify and sketch the starting point. The starting point is not going to be 0, 0 anymore. Okay? The starting point is what? What does it say in the step?
HK.
HK. Do you see any H or K's anywhere else on the board right now?
All the equations.
Every single equation has one. Okay? But H, K. Does this one have an HK?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the H?
English.
And the parentheses. Where's the K? On the other side next to the Y. Okay. And this one, is this one at H and K?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the H?
Inside the absolute value.
Inside the absolute value. Where's the K?
Same as last time.
Next to the Y. Okay? And does this one have an H and a K?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the H?
Negative.
And the exponent with the X. Good. And the K is? Look at this. X with the H. K with the Y. H with the X. K with the Y. H with the X. K with the Y. H with the X. K with the Y. Good. It's always that way. Every single equation, every single function we're going to do the entire school year. The H is with the X and the K is with the Y. The K is with the The K is with the Y and the H is with the X.
Oh, got it.
I tried to trick you on that one.
You got me.
Okay, so
I was
one
testing
thing we
you.
have to remember
You
when
knew
we
right.
plot that point, exponentials have an open circle. So highlight that. All the other ones are closed. Okay? So exponentials. All other use the closed. Okay? So that's the only part that's different. Is we have to make our equation look like this so that we can get the HK. Instead of 0, 0, it could be a different number. It could be 1, 0. It could be -1, -2. It could be 0, 5. Okay? So we rewrite it like this to figure out what the new starting point is, because it's not 0, 0 anymore. And then the rest is going to be the same as all the rest of the graphing before even doing. Okay? So I'm going to change my slide. Okay, and we're gonna circle that part about slope. What are the only two we can use slope with? Linear and
Linear absolute value.
linear absolute value. Okay. Okay, so make sure that you circle that. Slope can only be used with linear and linear absolute value. Okay? All right, what do we use otherwise? Stretch, good. So stretch, we always go where? Right one. Okay? And then we go up the A. Okay? If it's negative, then we do what? We still go right, but we go down if it's negative. So I'm going to write that down if A is negative. Okay. Yes?
Can you use stretch for the linear equation?
Yes. The time it gets really hard if it's like 3/2. That one's kind of hard to do. Stretch. So I do like using slope for linear and linear absolute values, but stretch works for all of them the whole year. Okay? Now in advanced math. But slope only works for linear and linear absolute value. It will never work for any other function the rest of the school year. Okay? All right. I think we're okay with the other part. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to be working on an example, but first I want to give you notes on the type of function. So turn the page. I want you to go to slide 3, example A. We're going to do that one together. Okay, so the example I want to look at, I don't need to go over the ones that are in here, right? So this slide, cross that one off. That one's supposed to be in there. I don't know what I was thinking, but that should not be there. So you could just put a big X. We're going to delete it. Okay. Done. Okay. We're going to do example A first. Let's look at those steps again. Okay. So you might have to flip back and forth. Okay. Okay. What was the first step? Identify the parent function. What is this one? Absolute value. How do I know?
Value bars.
The value bars. Okay, so bar, and I'm going to put ABS for absolute. Is that okay? ABS value. Okay. So, what shape is absolute value? V. Is it upward facing V or down? Up. How do you know it's up? Positive. Very good. So I'm going to put an upward facing V. Okay? Then it says, write the function in graphing form. Okay, so I'm going to help you guys with that. Okay? It's always y minus what? You guys remember? K. And then it goes equals. For absolute value, do we have stretch or slope? Slope, okay? And then absolute value, the bars, x minus what? H. Very good. Okay? Now, for an absolute value, the HK is always that pointy part on the V. Okay? And then we use slope, right? Okay, so I'm going to write that down. Slope. M equals, what do we say? How do we use slope? Rise over run. Okay, so rise over run. So once you get to that point, you're going to rise, and then you're going to run. Which direction should we run? To the left? That gives me one part. What else do I do? To the right. Okay, and then we draw what kind of shape again? A V shape. Okay. Let me move that guy over a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna do that part with this guy over here. I gotta find the HK. Does this equation look like that one? No. Okay. So what could I do to this one to make it look like that one?
Add 2.
Add 2, very good. Now, for some of you, this next step is going to be different than what you did in Math 2. Okay? Did you guys graph it all in Math 2?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. What is the H and the K?
Starting point.
Starting point. What's the H and K for this one now that I have it in
One,
this one? 1 and 2. Okay? So I get the 1 and the 2 from here, right? I'm going to tell you that it is actually -1 and -2. That was where I got all the confusion part in my class yesterday. How many of you in Math 2 knew that this was the opposite? Good. When it's on this side, what is this one? You guys remember? I always move it because I want them both to be opposite. You guys all knew without hesitation this one's the opposite. But this one you didn't know. Do I do the opposite or do I do the same? If you move it over here, they're both opposite. Okay? Does that make sense a little bit? Okay. So that's why I put it over here. Because if it's over there, it's the what? Are those opposites or same? Same. I like to move it over, so I just have to remember one thing. Always opposite. Okay? So I put it over there. Other teachers don't do that. So like in Math 2, they didn't teach you that. But you didn't know if the K was a opposite or the same. So that's why I move it. So it's always opposite. Okay? Because you guys remember the opposite one. Okay, so I'm going to write that little hint down here. Opposite. Okay, and I put that little hint here too. Okay. That part's the tricky part. All the rest is going to be easier. Okay? Because we have our equation. It's opposite. I'm going to plot the point. Where do I go if I'm here?
-1.
-1
Down
down 2. Okay? So I went left 1, down 2. Okay? Good, good, good. Okay, then we're going to grab our stretch or our slope. The linear absolute values have stretch or slope. Slope. Good. You can use both, but I'm going to use slope or stretch, doesn't matter. If it's easy, that I always do, then it doesn't matter if you use stretch or slope. Okay, so how do I use it? What should I do? Up 3, over 1, left or right? Right 1. Okay, and then what? To the left 1. Okay. And then what shape do I do? A V. Now, I will tell you that when I did my notes, because I did my notes before you came to class today, and I annotated, the first time I did it, I did not draw a V. I drew a quadratic, because they're kind of similar, right? So that's why I like to draw the little picture in the very beginning, because once I get distracted from the problem, I sometimes just go with memory. Oh, 3 points, quadratic. That's what I did for years and years and years. And this is newer, so I like to draw a little tiny preview in the beginning. Okay? We're done. Okay? Let's get your frustration level. I got this. I'm not frustrated at all. I'm a little frustrated. Way frustrated. Like, this is awful. What are you doing to me? Yeah, this. You don't like it. Okay, so be honest.
I'm a
No
guest.
problem. I got this. Sideways. I don't know. I'm okay. Down. I am definitely not there. Good. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting most here. I'm glad it wasn't almost everybody down here. Okay? We're gonna do another one. We're gonna do this one. Okay? It's gonna get easier. Remember I told you by the third one it'll be a little better, and by the fourth one it's gonna be good? Okay? The frustration part's right now. Okay, let me move this chair out of the way. Alright. It's always y, then what? Minus what? K. For quadratics, then we have an equals. Do we have stretch or slope for quadratics? Stretch, so I use an A. Quadratics have parentheses, and it's always what? X, then what? Minus what? K. Oh, you're right. It's always X minus H. Good catch. All right, and then parentheses, and then quadratics always have a square. Good. Good, good, good. All right. So, what do you think the starting point is for a quadratic? HK, because it's the same for all of them. So the HK is our starting point. For a quadratic, what part of our shape has the starting point? The curved part. Okay? The formal name for that curved part is a vertex. Okay? So this is a vertex. This is a vertex because it's a turning point. It's where it curves or jumps back. Okay, so we call it a vertex. You guys remember calling them vertex like when you learned about squares? Yeah. So hopefully they taught you guys that. Okay, so that's the vertex, which means the bottom of the U. Okay? And then I use stretch. What do we always, always, always do for stretch? Not up one, right one, awesome. And then what? Up how much? A. You guys are outstanding. Good. All right, and then for a quadratic, did it stop?
What?
Did it stop?
I don't know. We're going to tell them count. Oh.
Thank you. It's got my back right there. All right. Okay, so then what do I do? You're good. Okay, how do I get the other one? Left one, up A. Okay, and then what shape do I use to connect them? A U shape. Okay, so why did we call that one a quadratic again? It has the square. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that in blue and trace it. Boop. And this one we knew was absolute value because of the bars. Okay, so here quadratic. So I want this to look like that. Okay? Does it look like that? No.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So, do we have a K? Oh. Okay, thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes, we have a K. I see it. No, we don't have a K. It's missing.
Okay. I think. No, we don't got it.
Oh. Why did you say I think at first?
Because there's a -4. And
There's a -4.
so x squared could have been already worked out.
Oh, the 2x squared could have already been worked out, so the -4 could be the K. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it might be true. I get his logic. Thumbs down. No way. That's totally wrong. Yeah. Okay, I see a few thumbs up. I think a lot of you just don't know. Here's how you know. Okay? The H is always next to the X, right? It's always, always, always inside the absolute value or inside of the parentheses or in the exponent combined with the X. Is this -4 combined with the X? No. Is it inside the parentheses?
No.
No, so it is not an H. What is it? Okay, so if I want to figure out the correct HK, what should I do with that 4? Add it. Good. It just makes them all easier so they're all in the same format. Okay, so g of x plus 4 equals negative 2x squared. So the question is now, well, if we know the k, what the heck is the h? Anybody think they know? I can't have a coordinate like this with nothing in there.
0.
Yes. Did you say that?
There you go, Rich.
High five me. Right there. Bam! Yeah, because we're subtracting a number, right? So if I subtract a 0 from an x, do I change the value of the x at all? No. So the x or the h is 0 whenever it is missing and I can't move something into that spot. Okay, so I'm going to have plus 4 equals negative 2, x minus 0 squared. All right, so, okay, wait. You guys told me it was what kind of shape again? A U. Okay, so U's can be up or down. Is this one going to be an up or a down? Down, why? It's a negative. Okay, good. So we have that A there, and the negative part of it tells us that it's a downward shaped U. So I'm going to put that sketch on here. Okay? In fact, I want to write it over here too. I'm going to draw a little box. If the A is negative, what does it look like? Downward. Okay. What about this one? What if the M was downward? Down. I mean, what if an M was negative? Down. Okay, there we go. Downward facing D. Good. Sounds like a yoga move. Okay. We need our HK. So give me your H. Give me a hand signal. What's the H? Yes. Yes, yes. What's the H? Give me hand signals. Yes. 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 Good. 0. Okay. Right here. Okay. This is harder. What's the K? Show me with your hand. Almost. Almost. Yes, yes. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, almost. 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 Yeah. Got it. So I like this. You guys know why I said the extra yeah? Bam. It's negative. Okay? That's why. Okay, because it's opposite. Sorry. I am happy. We learn when we're happy, right? You teach better when you're happy too. Okay. So you guys said it was -4 because it's always what?
Opposite.
Opposite. Good. If you didn't remember in your notes later, put opposite. Because it's always opposite. Okay. So once we know the HK, we do what with it?
Plot it.
Plot it. So normally it was at 0, 0, but what am I going to do instead? Where do I go from here?
To the right.
Down or to the right?
To the right first.
To the right? To the right how much?
1.
No.
Oh, yeah, we're not doing the down right stuff, huh? Alright.
Well, we are, but we're doing it with a coordinate instead of a slope or a stretch. So what do I do instead? Down 4. Because the left and right 0. So left and right none. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Then we have to stretch or slope? Stretch. Okay, you got this. Okay, how do I stretch? Right 1. Always, always, always. And then what? Down how much? 2. Outstanding. Down A or 2, because the 2 is in the A spot. Okay, and then I need the other one. We always go back to HK. Left 1, and then what? Down 2. Okay, and then what shape do I connect it with? A U shape. Sweet. Bam. Okay. Let's gauge your frustration level right now. Okay? 5. I'm not frustrated at all. I got this. I can do my homework, at least for these 2 types. Okay? 4. I could do a couple homework. I think I could do it, but I might check with my partner. 3. Definitely have to work with my partner. 2. I'm not ready to work on my own example yet. 1. I'm having a really bad day. Okay, what do you guys think? Good. Okay, you guys are feeling much more confident than my other class. My other class was like, I'm fried. They were more like in the 2s and 1s. Okay, so I think you guys are doing pretty good. I'm gonna turn this up. Do you turn off? Okay, what do I do?